And welcome to Incredibly, your favorite superhero show about superheroes. My name is Joey, and I'm joined today by Uchi. Let's party. Today's episode is going to be an interesting one, to say the least. We got some major news.
Wow,
and,
pun intended, I guess.
Yeah, pun very intended. And we also have our top 5 fandom projects of the year. Basically relating to everything that we encapsulate here on the show. So maybe not everything that you're going to be expecting, but it's going to be a good one. We are without Dennis today. Sad to say he's on a work trip and couldn't make it. So shout out to Dennis. We'll catch you next time, buddy.
That other guy on the show.
Yeah, the other guy on the show. But without further ado, let's just get rid of the white elephant in the room. White elephant in the room? The elephant in the room. Jonathan Majors today has officially been fired from Marvel and from, I'm assuming, any of his other projects that he's been associated with. But I think it was probably just Marvel being the biggest one. He was found guilty of third-degree assault and harassment of his ex-girlfriend. This news comes straight from Deadline earlier today. Been reported on by basically every news media outlet that's out there because, MCU is far-reaching, and this trial has been kind of in the mainstream media for some time now. And we just wanted to cover it, just put it out there, say, hey, we acknowledge it. Yep. So, I saw a lot of buzz about it, about potentially recasting Kang in the MCU. I saw a lot of people saying, let's just move on. We got other bigger fish to fry. We got the X-Men coming in. We got the Fantastic Four coming in. Why hang around on this guy? Especially a one Dennis has been very adamant about moving on from Kang. But my favorite fan cast right now is Denzel, bringing Denzel into play Kang, which would be absolutely fucking insane if they could bring Denzel in. But what are your thoughts? Maybe not so much on the genre. We don't want to talk rumors. We don't want to put our opinions on that. We're here to talk about fandom, geek culture. So how are you feeling about, I guess, just the future of the MCU with this announcement?
It's a shame. Like I was saying on my Twitter, it sucks to know that we had someone playing this type of role or any role, doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
That committed those types of crimes, and what sours it's not like, as a fan, I'm not even concerned with the fact that, oh man, we lost Kang. Now the stories are gonna be all jumbled around.
Right.
I'm honestly not even worried about that. I'm just more I'm not upset. I mean, I am upset. I'm just I'm kind of in a weird state of mind when it comes to this, only because it's damn, we all liked this guy on the surface for his performance and his work.
Yeah.
But to know that the truth behind the curtain with this dude in particular is it's sad. It's messed up. It's so dumb. It's I don't want people that are listening to this to feel like they are also in the wrong for liking him at one point either.
Right.
Because this is stuff we never knew. And it came when the news came out, it was random. I was like, what? That's crazy.
Back in March, I think.
Yeah, he looks obviously on the surface, you're not supposed to judge a book by its cover. You give everyone the benefit of the doubt. You give everyone a fair chance, but then it comes out oh, he's a scumbag. He would actually do some shit like that to an ex or who, it doesn't matter. And that is what really hits below the belt for me. And I'm just it sucks that a dude of his stature is like that on the inside. And that's what's the worst part. Fuck the movies. You know what I'm saying? That's the last thing that I'm concerned about, because in this particular situation, transitioning to, like, how they could, like, come out of it is just Aunt Vivus. I don't care. Just recast his ass if
Yeah.
they wanna do the Kang thing, or they could take it a completely different 180 direction. I see people, they want to go straight to Doom. Listen, if that happens, cool. If not, cool, because we've had worse. We had a whole dude die in real life,
Yeah.
and they had to rewrite a whole ass movie because he was not there. I'm sure they had to rewrite a lot of things because I'm
Yeah.
sure T'Challa was supposed to be around and playing more important parts
Yeah, he was
later
supposed to
on.
be, like, the next Cap kind of figure in the MCU.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, and that's tragic. This is tragic too. It's
Right.
like I
Different
shouldn't put
level.
a death over this. Like, I'm
Right.
just gonna put them like both right here.
Yeah.
They're both terrible. But obviously one is like, I would honestly, I would consider, like, you can't really outweigh the other. They're just
Right.
both terrible. But the point that I'm really trying to make is that they can figure it out. They've
Yep.
done it before and they can do it now. So it is what it is. I mean, some people might be happy that, okay, then that just means that we're just gonna move past Kang and go on to like bigger and better things. But I don't really think it's gonna work out that way either, because
Yeah.
you're not gonna have a full course meal done in 2 minutes.
Yeah,
Like,
absolutely not.
unless you pull up to McDonald's, unless you pull up to fast food, like, Imma start calling people, like, fast food head asses, because that's what a lot of these fans are. Like, they want the end game type of
Yeah.
movies every single time, and that's, you just can't get that.
Yep.
So, people gotta let it cook, and it's
Amen.
unfortunate of what happened.
Yeah.
Like, and I feel bad for that girl. I really do. I
Yeah.
really do. And apparently, what, he's gonna do a year in prison or something
I
like
think he
that?
can do, like, up to a year, I think is what they
Yeah.
said. So, we'll see. Yeah, it sucks. It is what it is. Never meet your
Yeah.
heroes kind of feel. So, but, it is what it is. It feels weird to talk about in this kind of sense, but I'm very interested to see what comes next and how Marvel and Kevin Feige and the team will pivot, um, with the upcoming projects. I know Kang is probably not involved in Echo. Kang's probably definitely not involved in Deadpool. If he is, maybe end credit scene. So at least we have a good buffer year
Yeah,
for
yeah,
them
yeah, yeah.
to course correct.
Yeah.
But it is really sad to see something like this happen because we were pretty high on the Jonathan Majors train for a while, especially with his performance in Loki and everything like that, and Creed. I don't know if you saw those movies, but he was excellent in there. So big sad, but it is what it is. Life goes on. The train keeps moving, right? Show must go on.
Yeah, man, good riddance
Yeah,
in that regard, because like I said, like, it's like, if you're a person that is known to do great things,
yeah,
but you hide the shittier things, and then that gets exposed, there's no saving you,
right.
you know? Like, it's just, it is what it is, like, and honestly, like, I feel like this for everyone.
Yeah,
Can't defend that. So we move on. It's like,
amen.
well, do your time. You did the
Yep,
crime, so,
yeah.
like, a lot, I see a lot of jokes too, like, people already, like, that's the crazy thing about the internet. I'm just like, "Man, can we just let this shit, like, just, like, settle?" You
At
know?
least a
Like,
day.
not even, man. Everyone's like, "He who remains unemployed."
Yep.
Like, oh my god, like, come on, son. Like, can we
At least
just
they're good.
yeah, like, I laughed when I saw that shit,
Right,
but I'm just like, oh, internet,
right.
please. Like, stop.
All right. Well, to stop giving the internet fodder, we're gonna move on,
Please, let's
please.
go. I'm in there.
We've been cooking. This year's been cooking. We're excited to talk about this because there's just been so much goodness that has come out of 2023,
Oh, yeah.
that we have devised our top 5 lists of our top 5 favorite fandom geek related projects of this year. Um, Dennis was going to send in his list, didn't send his list. That's okay because you can join us on next week's episode to learn more about about Dennis's list.
I like I
So,
like that. That was
thank you,
good.
thank you, thank you. So, let's start with our honorable mentions. I'm gonna go with mine to kind of set the tone because I know that you said you had a few. So, my honorable mentions for this year's geek off, I don't know what you'd call it, is are Invincible season 2 is on my list.
Mm.
I've got Gen V,
Mm?
I've got Blue Beetle,
Mm,
only because top 5 is pretty stacked.
yeah,
I have the Dungeons& and Dragons movie. I know it's kinda outside of our realm a little bit, however, it was incredible, and if you're a
yeah.
Dungeons& and Dragons fan, you should definitely go see it. And then I have the Mario movie outside of it too. I know. I know. And that's my those are my honorable mentions. They're all incredible movies. We were, like, super blessed this year with
That's facts.
fandom content on
Yeah,
TV, outside TV, everywhere. So, what do you got,
yeah.
Ooch?
So I only have a couple honorable
Okay.
mentions. And honestly, I was heavily considering putting one of the honorable mentions in my actual top 5 list
Okay.
because, like, I had to think about it, and I'm just like, "You know what? Imma just leave it the way it is." But so in no order, I have the Ninja Turtle movie, right?
Wow, okay.
Yeah, the Ninja
Outside
Turtle
of your
movie.
top 5.
That's what I'm saying. That was the one
Damn.
that I
Damn.
that I was like, "Do I have it in the top 5 or do I have it outside the top 5?"
Right.
But you'll see I have my reasons for, like, the
Alright.
other stuff. So, then Blue Beetle, and then the Marvels mid-credit scene because
Mm.
I had to
Specifically.
specifically for that mid-credit scene because
Yeah.
listen, man, you guys already know if you've been following, you've been listening, paying attention. I obviously, much like with the other boys here, huge X-Men fan, and the fact that we got Beast in there, it was fire, it was OD, and it just makes me more excited. And I feel like X-Men is they're gonna be like shining hella
Yeah.
bright like very soon before you guys
Amen.
know it. And it feels so good because Crystal and I have been rewatching the X-Men movies now. We're
You
finally
watched X-Men and then X2, right?
we saw the first one, we saw X2, and then we saw Last Stand as well.
Okay.
I
Nice.
yeah, I didn't get to tell you guys in the group chat, but
Gotcha.
yeah, we saw that actually yesterday. No, no,
Nice.
2 days ago, 2 days ago, yeah, we saw it 2 days ago, and, yeah, out of those 3, like, the trilogy, like, I remembered them in a certain way, and to see them again, I was like, "Damn, these are fire." Like,
Yeah. They're incredible movies.
yeah.
I think Kevin Feige was, involved in them in a
Yeah,
very
yeah, he
offhanded
was
way,
in
but he
there.
was there, yeah, which is
Yeah,
wild.
but yeah, that's why I had to throw in Marvels, not
Yep.
for the movie itself. I mean, I guess the movie itself, yeah, sure, honorable mention because
Yep.
I did enjoy it
Yeah.
personally, but like I really I will always bring it up because of that mid credit scene and that
Mhm.
mid credit scene alone. So that's it.
Absolutely fair enough. Alright. Do you wanna start us off with your number 5?
All right. So my number 5, I'm gonna go with My Adventures with Superman.
Mm.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Maz, and this is the one that I was kind of contemplating with
Okay.
Ninja Turtles, right? The reason why I left Ninja Turtles or I left Maz at 5 is because I was I remember like being really excited when we caught wind that they were doing like a Superman anime. That's why I kept calling it because it looks like one.
Yeah. I mean,
And
he had the magical girl transformation, like
yes. Yes, and, like, I was so ready for it, and I never forget when we saw that first episode, and I reacted to all the episodes on my YouTube channel, and I saw that first episode, I was like, "Dude, this feels so good," and I'm just like, "It's a shame that DC only has their shit together with their animated shows."
Yeah, big shame.
Like, that's crazy, so, like, when I weigh how excited I was for Maz versus Ninja Turtles, the thing with Turtles is for me, Turtles is goated. Like they're always gonna have like I'm always gonna love them. And I'm
Yeah.
always gonna feel like, yeah, like I'm in there. Like, like I don't have to get worried or like, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
I knew when we get new Ninja Turtles, I was like, "Oh, yeah, I'm definitely seeing that." I saw it in 4DX. It was a lot of fun. A little bit I had more fun than I was expecting because, like,
Mhm.
it was like a retelling, rebooted kind of Turtles or whatever for, like, the modern era, and they felt so genuine
Yeah.
to, like, what your average New York teenager would act like with the "year and we outside, they got chopped cheese and this and that," you know what I mean? The Aki way, and
Mhm,
they're
mhm.
watching anime, and they was referencing Attack on Titan heavy, you know. But despite all that, and as amazing as that was, and how much I loved that movie, I felt like this time around, I would actually show some love to DC because
Yeah.
this was out of the entire year. This was recorded before Aquaman.
Yeah, we're seeing
Uh,
Aquaman this weekend.
yeah, we're seeing it this weekend. Like this is the one thing I feel like they had done right.
Facts.
So, well, next to Blue Beetle.
Right.
I'll yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah. So I love Blue Beetle too.
Yeah, I'm gonna say something really fast. I completely forgot that Moss was this year. I don't know, so that's why it would have made my honorable mentions,
Yeah,
um,
yeah,
probably swapping also with Turtles. So
yeah.
after that. So my number 5 is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: Mutant
There it
Mayhem
is. Boom.
because of literally every reason that you gave. It reinvigorated, like, the kid inside of me, like, it made me feel like I was a kid again watching the original '90s movies, just getting to play with the
Ooh.
toys and the action figures, like, we literally I don't know if you can see it, I got my last Ronin figure here,
Yeah.
it was just so good to go and enjoy a movie like Ninja Turtles as an adult. Because
Yes.
it's like one thing when you're a kid, you're, like, watching on TV or whatever, but, like, as an adult, choosing to go spend your own money to go watch it because I went to the fan event, right? So, it was, like, the Wednesday before or whatever,
Oh,
and
okay.
they had, like, the whole Seth Rogen screening beforehand where he, like, came out and said, like, "Oh, thank you for coming to this film. This is some behind the scenes stuff for it." Everybody got posters, they got, like, a comic, and it was just, like, so much fun in the theater, and I feel like some of that had been missing for a while, especially, like, coming out of COVID and really just having everything going on to
Yeah.
go and sit and watch 4 teenagers with attitude pretty much in a half
Careful.
shell. Yeah, right? Um, get to live it up in the city and really usher in a new era of Turtles
Mhm.
to today's audience was incredible. So, unfortunately, it's number 5. I wish that there was less amazing things out this year so that way I could put it higher,
Just put it
but
higher. Yeah.
right. So, my number 5 is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: Mutant Mayhem, and when
Word
the
up.
second one comes out, it'll probably be top 5 also, whenever the cartoon comes out, I guess.
Yeah, I was just about to say, aren't they getting like a series next?
Yeah, I believe so. I don't know if we have, like, any confirmation on it, but yeah,
Mhm.
as far as I know, yeah.
That's dope.
Alright, I'll go number 4 because my number 4 and this is 4 through 5 are really tough. So or 4 through 1 were
One.
really tough, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So, my number 4 is Godzilla minus 1
Ooh, let's get it.
because that was talk about modern cinema. Talk about, like, just remaking a classic into some like, a spectacle. It felt like a true blockbuster movie. Again, I wish that it would have been in 4DX because I would have seen that shit in 4DX, and it would have
Oh,
been
man,
imagine
yeah.
the end scene where they're all surrounding Godzilla, and you probably get sprayed with, like, ocean water, and you can smell it all, and you can, like, oh.
Ugh.
So, this movie was, a masterpiece. Yeah, I think the
Mm,
budget was, like, $15 million, and it looked incredible. The
yeah.
storytelling, everything from, the World War II, coming out of World War II to, all the props and Godzilla itself. Just could not get enough of it, and I'm pretty sure I cried at least 4 separate times during the movie.
That's actually really cool. Like,
Yeah,
I didn't cry at all, but I was really feeling the emotions
dude, it
though.
was crazy. And, like, and I'll say this, it made my list because I went with Sarah, and
Mm,
Sarah loved this movie. We left, and we were in the parking lot, she's like, I need to know everything about Godzilla right now. Like, you need to you need to tell me all the lore, like, explain to me how he was created, like, what happened, why is he here, all this and that. And to get somebody who Sarah's pretty open to all this stuff just because, I've been into it for my whole life, so I've kinda been like,
yeah.
"Hey, you should watch this with me, watch this with me." But for her to because she went in, she's like, "Okay, we're gonna go see a Godzilla movie, alright." To after it, like, also crying with me through the film, and then to actively want to learn more, that's huge because I would call her like almost like the general audience. And so if you have the general audience feeling
Yeah,
that kind of
yeah,
way,
yeah. Yeah, no, that's
that's
fair.
incredible. um Japan
That's
really been on it this year, I'll tell you that. So Godzilla minus one is my number 4. And when Godzilla plus 2 comes out, it'll probably be number 1.
There it is. There it is. See, you get it.
I get it.
We got Godzilla -1, we got Godzilla +2, then we have Godzilla times 3, and
Mhm,
then all to
mhm.
bring it back, because then Godzilla divided by 4. You know what I'm saying? We got we we got all the fucking the movies lined up right
Yeah,
here.
I'm excited.
Yeah, and honestly, tell her if she ever wants to double date, because I'm trying to get Crystal to watch the rest of
Oh,
them.
yeah, absolutely.
Because the monster verse that they've been establishing ever since the Godzilla movie from, like, 2014 or something
Yeah.
like that, dude, they've been great. Like, the stories that are interconnecting and, like, what they're building towards, I think it's like they have their monster cinematic universe. So,
Yeah, it's
like,
awesome.
it's really cool.
'Cause we have Godzilla X Kong coming out
Coming
next
out
year, I
next
believe. Yeah,
year.
so
Which yeah, and that's the thing. I was so surprised to hear that we were getting this one because funny enough, that's my number 4 is Godzilla -1.
let's
So
go.
we link on that one. But yeah, like I knew about the Kong one and I was like waiting for that. So when caught wind about -1, I was like, "What? Another
Yeah, what is
Godzilla
this?
movie? I'll take it." But like that's what was kind of make it had me worried in a sense because usually when movies kind of like almost like shadow release in a way, like
Yeah,
not that this kind of just was in theaters and like, oh, it's out now. Like the I feel like the marketing and like all of that involvement in them just trying to push the film, I feel like it was given to us in a way that didn't really feel like, oh, like there's a new Godzilla movie coming out. And I
and
feel
like a
like it had
reboot too.
yeah, like I feel like it had everything to do with the fact that this was just like a Japanese film and they decided to like push it out like
Yeah,
globally, which was hella smart on their part
right.
because it's being like criticized as a really good ass movie and which was another surprise
Mhm.
because I was like, bro, am I reading these right? Like, are these the right sites? Like the same sites that shit on all my favorite things, they're gonna take something else that I love and they're gonna praise it. Nah, that's OD.
Yeah,
Because Godzilla is a part of a genre of films that I feel like is niche. And unless you're like within this fandom or whether you're in this like, I guess, subculture or culture of
right.
media and stuff, it's like no one really fucks with this kind of stuff.
Yeah,
But it seems like the tides are turning and they made a very compelling and interesting story and this is kind of like how you want to make a monster film going forward. Like this movie is
mhm.
like the blueprint
Yeah,
because you can't make monster movies like how you did back in the 50s all the way through into the 80s and so on. That's like a before era. Now we're in the era where it's like we have a really dope story to tell. We have a lot of tragic real life events that are borrowed into this with the inclusion of the big monster.
yeah,
And it just goes from there. So yeah, this film was fire, really good, really amazing story. It almost felt like I was watching a live action anime.
yeah, I felt that a lot.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so yeah, Godzilla -1, my number 4 right here as top
amen.
5.
I
Yep.
think it was a really good movie because it almost felt like it was about the human condition and being a human alive during the tragedies of World War II.
Yes.
Except it wasn't World War II, it was a giant fucking lizard fucking up all of Japan, and it was awesome. 'Cause
Yeah.
this is, like, the first time that I really think I watched a piece of Godzilla media, and I was almost, like, rooting against Godzilla. 'Cause, like, normally, I'm like, "Fuck yeah, like, let's, like, use your atomic breath, like, fuck the shit up." The whole movie, I was like, "Oh my god, like, this is so sad." So,
Yeah. Yeah, and
yeah.
that's a part of the like the dilemma behind the movie is that like and this is really like a true reboot to his origin in a way for
Yeah.
2023 because like at first, yes, he is the threat. He is the villain, if you will. It's a battle between the human existence, right? Versus this monster that can
Yeah.
wipe it all out. So it's like it's the battle for survival, and that's how it starts. And then as you watch, and like if you go from here and you see Godzilla 2014, completely different
Yeah,
story, but it's still written pretty well.
yeah,
And the ones that follow, even Kong and then King of Monsters and then versus Kong, OD, they're all
yeah.
great.
And, Shin Godzilla, I haven't watched yet, but I've heard just absolutely amazing things about it too.
Yeah, I don't quote me on this, but apparently you can watch that one after this one, and or it's the other way around. I'm
Mhm.
not exactly sure, but like Shin Godzilla is like another one that was done. It was basically like minus one. Like it was
Yeah,
Japanese film and it was like criticized well. Like it was a good film. So like
yeah,
Geekdom, like he's been going crazy over minus one. Like he's the way he's been tweeting about minus one is just like I have to check on him. Like, are you okay?
right.
Like he's been going crazy. Like it's like totally changed his whole outlook on life and shit. I'm like, geez, like,
Damn.
but and he was acting like that with Shin Godzilla.
Mm,
So yeah, I would see it for sure.
gotcha. Yeah, definitely, uh, Godzilla minus one is absolutely a must watch
Yeah.
for everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody needs to go see it.
Yeah.
I was at work and I was telling people, I was like, "Oh, yeah, I just saw a movie yesterday." Like, "Oh, what'd you see?" I was like, "Godzilla." I'm like, "Go watch it. Grab your husband, grab your kids, go watch go watch Godzilla."
Yeah.
All right, I think it's your turn for number 3.
All right, here we go. Ready?
With the Mario Brothers and plumbing's a game.
I had to get Mario Brothers. The freaking Mario Brothers movie, man, it helped me realize, damn, I love Mario.
Right?
And this was their first time doing an animated movie for Mario. And like, they haven't done Mario since what?
The
Like the
90s?
cartoon and
Yeah.
the 80s movie or 90s. I don't even know when it came out. I didn't even watch it because I've heard terrible things about it.
It's so bad, but it's really good.
Yeah. So, um, this movie was super hyped up, rightfully so. Had pretty I imagine all these movies have high budgets anyway. But like it kind of blew itself out of the water.
Mm,
And like it was a very fun movie to watch. And from start to finish, I was just like very like drawn in on this feature that they was giving us. And I loved the story, I loved the characters, I loved how colorful it was, and I was like, again, another example, this is the blueprint on how you do a video game world in cinema,
yeah.
like, to the T. They had literally everything. It was like it felt almost felt like a celebration of sorts
It
for
really d
Mario.
it 'cause it encapsulated everything that Mario has to offer, like,
Yes.
almost exactly everything. I think the only
Yeah.
thing in it wasn't, like, Mario Party wasn't in it, but otherwise, it was pretty much
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah. Like, they had Easter eggs for just about anything you could imagine, and, like, really, I mean, and then, like, the cast? Like, the
Next
cast,
level.
I definitely feel like really pushed it over to the moon. Like, I feel like, yeah, I gotta give my flowers to Jack Black. Not even gonna
Amen.
lie. That song to this day, Peaches, yo, everyone's still singing it. I still sing it. Sometimes I'll be like doing beatbox to it, you
Did you
know?
see the Jonas Brothers brought out Jack Black to open their show with
I
him
saw a
as
clip.
Bowser? Yeah, incredible.
Yeah, like it
Transcends all of fandom.
yeah, it truly I am very much looking forward to what they do next with it. They
Mm,
obviously teased Yoshi, which is nice. But I feel like the next one's gonna be called Super Mario World because of that. I'm sure it will
mm.
be.
Oh, that'd be cool if they went with, like, the game naming conventions. That'd be
Mhm.
fun.
Yeah, yeah. So I think that yeah, for everything that I said, it was super good, super dope. It was loved by everybody that saw it. I can't think or I remember ever seeing anyone saying a bad thing about it. It was a knockout. And like I said, like I hope that we get some sort of news of whatever's coming next. And I even hope more so that they're building the Super Smash Brothers universe. I really hope that that's
At
what
least
will end up happening.
at least the 64 cast would be nice.
Bro,
Other
even if they do, like, a skewered version
Yeah.
because Sonic was never in 64, but, like, I'm sure no one would complain if, like, the first Smash movie was, like, Mario, Pikachu, Sonic at the least, and then, of course, you have, like, Yoshi and Donkey Kong and stuff like that, so
What would be sick would be like a Star Fox movie. I think that could
come
really
on!
excel, yeah, like, that would imagine it just be like a space opera, like a Star Wars-esque kinda movie with Star Fox and the gang going and fucking doing
Oh,
whatever,
you
yeah.
got Wolf in there,
Yes, sir.
Falco, Toad help, Falco!
Yeah, and you take the voice cast from the original games. Easy.
Yeah,
Free money, dude.
easy peasy.
Yeah. I wish that I would have put Mario on the list, but I think the other 3 that I have are
Alright.
just, so my number 3 top 5 movie this year is Guardians of the Galaxy number 3.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
I figured that,
Makes
yeah,
sense,
yeah.
right? It was a
Mhm,
send off for James Gunn from Marvel. Thank you for everything you've given us, Mr. Gunn. I hope that you resurrect DC very quick with the quickness. It'd be very
yeah,
nice.
he wanted to clean up for no
Yeah,
reason and everything, but yeah, I
right.
hope so
Yeah.
too.
So, but Guardians 3 was a really powerful movie with everything from the High Evolutionary to Rocket's death, almost death. Peter
Mhm,
Quill kind of, going back home, finding family, and just being able to find solace in that, and everything with Nebula, Drax, the whole crew. It was really wonderful. It was a great end point for a trilogy, and I think it's we talk about doing like a trilogy ranking soon. For me, that's like easily top 2, 3. So gotta have it on the list. It was it restored our faith in the MCU. Not that we had lost a lot of faith, but it was kind of like, yo, this is peak MCU with Guardians 3. So here's to hoping that Mr. Gunn is able to pull it through with Superman Legacy, and that Kevin Feige can find another James Gunn or the of someone of that ilk moving forward. So
mhm. Yeah, I was contemplating on throwing Guardians, in my honorable mention.
yeah,
It was a movie that I definitely enjoyed a lot. Um, it wasn't one obviously, it's not on my favorites for the reasons I have for everything else,
yeah,
right? But I do wanna acknowledge it and, like, be like, "Yo, it was OD." It really
yeah,
was. I just for me, it was just like that Rocket story was very good, but it
yeah.
it it just it just hit
Too
too
sad.
hard.
Yeah.
It was like, it's just like, I'm not even, like, your biggest animal type of person, right?
Yeah.
Crystal is,
Mm.
and, like, listen, I've said this before, we almost had to leave.
Yeah.
It was that bad. Like, it was that bad, like, where it was like they really was trying to pull on your heartstrings, but, like, those emotional folks, man, listen, sometimes they can't handle it, and
True.
then when it's animals?
Oh,
Oh, nah.
yeah, game
It's bad
over.
enough with people, bro,
Yeah,
come
at
on.
least Rocket wasn't like a dog. Then it would've been game over,
Oh,
right? Could you
nah, we
imagine?
frame listen, 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 any movie we watch, any show we watch, if the dog comes on the screen, she will literally be like, "I can't watch this." I'll be like, Don't worry, it's fine, the dog is gonna be okay." She'll be like, "Okay." But meanwhile, everyone else could be getting killed,
Right.
slaughtered. As soon as that dog oh, no. Nope. Can't do it.
I'm sure she's happy with all the Flurkins in the Marvels actually, being pretty OP and just absorbing everybody rather than, being the ones that were killed, all the cats.
Right, right, right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. God bless.
Yeah.
Yeah. You guys saw Guardians 3 prior to her seeing Guardians 1 and 2, right? So she didn't even have that emotional connection with Rocket. It was just animals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's not even that big into Guardians. Like, she
Right.
honestly doesn't even like them that much. She just really loves Groot.
Yeah, that's
J
fair.
like everybody. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, that makes sense.
Mhm.
Okay, number 2. Are you ready? My number 2 top 5 of this year is Loki season 2.
Oh!
because that shit was incredibly
Mhm.
yeah. Insert title card here. It was everything that we could have wanted and more. It was like the perfect sequel. Like to me, the perfect sequel movie ever is Shrek 2. No meme.
That's so
Because it
random.
takes everything that Shrek does well and uh takes it to a whole nother level. It like literally it expands the universe, adds new characters. It makes you fall in love with Shrek, Donkey, Fiona, all of them all over again. It was literally
Mhm.
just a perfect sequel. Loki season 2 is that for me. It takes everything that we knew and loved about Loki and just delves deeper into it. Were there some problems? Yeah. Could we have gotten more time with Sylvie? Yeah. 100B15 definitely. Um, but what we got was OB. We got a killer performance from he who shall not be named now. I guess that's but we got Tom Hiddleston. It was wonderful. Everybody did such a great job. This it sets up for truly anything to happen in the MCU. It's probably like the most impactful outside of like Endgame, probably the most impactful um series, TV show, movie that we've gotten for the MCU in a hot minute in terms
Mm.
of like what it has to offer. It also got Sarah really interested, and I think it got a lot of eyes on Marvel again, which was really awesome to see. And I think it won a couple Emmys, or at least was nominated for a bunch of awards. I saw James Gunn posting, or not James Gunn. I saw Marvel posting about it on one of their things. So big shout out to the Loki team. Um, getting to see Mobius's background was wonderful. Getting to meet his kids and see that he, has two little boys of his own. Getting
Yeah.
to meet OB and see that he's a genius. Ki Hui Kwan, absolutely killer performance coming off of Everything Everywhere All at Once and all the other projects that he's been a part of recently was wonderful. And Tom Hiddleston, I think he's been with the MCU, I think for like 12 years now. So it's just like,
Yeah.
oh my god, like this dude absolutely rocking it. So, setting up just some wonderful things for the MCU. Couldn't ask for a better show, and we were so excited. Like it was just so much fun to have that kind of TV again, especially after Secret Invasion. It was just so nice to know that they still be cooking.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, to transition off that and to add, mine was also Loki season 2.
we're in
Damn, I feel like
sync.
this is the most lined up we've been.
Yeah, we're in
That's
sync.
that is fucking beautiful. But
We got
yeah,
2 so far.
yeah, we got Loki and Godzilla
I
and
think we
our
got
number
3.
4 and 2,
I think we got
right?
I think we got number 1 in common too. So we'll see. So
Oh,
speak your piece.
spoilers, right? Nah, everything Joey said about Loki and like I guess all I could really add to that is I first of all, season 1 was fire.
Yeah.
Season 2 was even better, I think. And I just love the seamlessness
Mm.
where the last episode happens and the first episode of this season literally just flowed right into it. And it's like if you were watching things in sequence and saw that, you would be like, "Oh wow!" Like you would have never known that there was like 2 years in between
Right.
when the seasons came out. So it was awesome. Clearly set Loki up high on a lot of people's like favorite characters list for sure. And it makes me curious as to how they're gonna handle his character for future projects, if we're ever gonna see him again.
Mhm.
And I'm not just talking like Loki as a character, like, in variant form. I'm talking like Tom Hiddleston. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So
Yeah, because we've seen that there are so many other variants of Loki out there that don't look anything like Tom Hiddleston. So it'll be
yeah.
very interesting,
Yeah.
to see.
And that's the thing, like, I don't want them to ever be like, "Oh, yeah, like, cheap pop type, here's Loki," but it's not Mr. Hiddleston, I need him to, put some tape around the timeline that he gotta grab on
Yeah,
and
yeah,
get
yeah.
out the seat and come down
For
to
like 5
see us.
minutes.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Just to, like, help out, do something,
Right.
chill. Fuck around with Thor or whatever.
Mhm,
Because I love it.
mhm.
I love his character, but like his story was written so dope, and what he does so powerful, so impactful. He
Yeah.
actually might have one of the like highest moments in the MCU. That's actually a topic we could definitely bring back up. Like, what
What
are
do you mean
like
by
the
highest? Like pinnacle moments in the MCU? Kind of so
yeah,
like a Tony Snap moment?
yes,
Okay. Yeah,
a
yeah, yeah.
Tony Snap, a Cap, freaking Avengers Assemble, all that.
Yeah.
Those are like peak moments, is I guess is what it should be called. So we're gonna have to do
Yeah,
that
yeah,
one
yeah.
for another day.
It's written down. I got it right here on the
Yeah.
wall.
So you want me to do my number one then?
Yeah, give us the number 1 movie of the year right here.
Spider-Man Across the Motherfucking Spider-Verse. Literally, this movie is the best film of 2023. No questions, only one answer. This freaking movie was OD. I don't think I've ever seen a movie 4 times in theaters while it was out. I think I beat my own record because I saw Endgame like 3 times, and
Yeah,
I saw this 4. So, it was a movie that got better every time you saw it too. And this was a movie where, similarly to how with Infinity War, where we were left open-ended and we were just like, "Oh my god, I need Endgame right now. I need Beyond the Spider-Verse
facts.
right now," when I came out of Across the Spider-Verse. And to just think of the potential and the things that they are setting us up for, it's like, bro, like, the movie itself was insane. The story that they're telling, insane. The shit that happened, I was like, I don't feel like I blinked. It was just like I was so glued. The soundtrack was OD, the characters, oh my god. Like, it was just like the perfect representation. It's like, "Oh, you trying to make a superhero animated film? Here's how you do it.
The
You do it
blueprint.
like this." Is the Has the blueprint, the spider print, you know what
Mm,
I'm saying? Across Spider-Verse, bro.
facts.
Easy.
You know what's crazy is that Spider-Man Across Spider-Verse is also my number 1 movie of the year
Yeah, that's
as
right.
well. This isn't pandering, I'm not trying to redeem myself. This is true. It was easily my favorite movie this year by far. Um, like I said, Loki 2, perfect sequel. Cross Spider-Verse, perfect sequel. Could not have asked for a better follow-up. Like, even more so from, like, Spider-Man to Spider-Man 2. This is, like it is setting up for not just Beyond the Spider-Verse, it's setting up for Beyond the Spider-Verse. You got it tied into the games.
Exactly.
You got it tied into potentially the Sinister Six. I think people have been talking about it being tied into the Sony live action universe or potentially even the MCU in the future. Who knows if Tom gets involved, right? So
Mm,
the potential that this trilogy has is insane. The love and care for the craft that the I can't remember their name. I think it's like Miller and something. The
mm.
directors have for Spider-Man is just incredible. And like the turn that Sony went from the CEO, the president of Sony Entertainment at the one point being like, "What do I do? All I have is Spider-Man and his slew of a rogues gallery," to being able to be like, "I have Spider-Man and all of his rogues gallery," and developing the Spider-Verse is just it's incredible to see because it really felt like a love project for Spider-Man. Like it felt like, we all love Spider-Man, but this is like these people love Spider-Man and you could see that in every pen stroke, every cool effect that they had on like Hobie or everything that they had in the backgrounds of
Yeah.
every scene and how like Gwen's world was different from Indian Spider-Man's world to Miles's world to everything. It was just so wonderful. They brought in a 14-year-old Lego fanatic who makes his own he remade all the Spider-Verse movie trailers in out of Legos, and then he made his own scene for the movie, like, that's just incredible, like
He had a scene in the movie,
yeah,
yeah.
like, where else do you see passion like that, right? Godzilla, I guess, that was pretty passionate, but otherwise
Yeah, yeah.
or Turtles, everything else on our list. But, we cannot speak high enough about this movie. Lord and Miller. That's her name's Lord and Miller.
Mm.
Could not speak high enough about this movie. If you haven't seen it, I don't know what the fuck you're doing listening to this. Go watch the movie right now. Because easily number one movie of the year. Don't care what Dennis has to say on Saturday, because
Right, right.
because you know, easily. I have the art book right here. I have the DVD right here.
Mm.
It's just peak peak Sony. It doesn't get better than Spider-Man, like at
Spider-Man
all.
is a shit, man.
Yeah,
Like he is like the clear poster boy of Marvel.
yeah.
So, like I don't even know how else to say it. He is the greatest character in superheroes, and he's not even like the strongest by any means.
No.
He's not on some cosmic level. Like he is your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, whether he's out here fighting with Thanos, against Thanos, with other Avengers, or he's handling shit on the streets. He is everyone's hero.
Mhm.
Like, you don't even have to like spiders. I never fuck with spiders, but I love Spider-Man.
Yes,
That's the
sir.
difference. And the cool thing about that movie is that it's like it's not even just Miles. It's like everybody.
Right.
And then there's more. There's gonna. I'm sure. I know there's gonna be more to it for Beyond the Spider Verse, and that is a movie that obviously was so good that it made me want to see what happens next. A lot sooner, so I'm hoping that we get it sooner than later. I know we were supposed to get it next year. I don't know. I don't think that's happening anymore, but we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah,
So,
I have the feeling it's getting pushed back, but, you know, Stanley said it best that anyone can wear the mask, you know?
yeah, it's
With great
true.
power, there must also come great responsibility. It's like, it just doesn't get better. Like, it Batman's cool and all, Supes is fun, but, like, the what you find in Spider-Man is hope, right? That's what the S in Spider-Man stands for, is hope.
All right.
And it's just because it's like anybody can be him, and you can see yourself in Peter's shoes or in Miles' shoes or in Gwen's shoes or in, you know, insert Spider Person here shoes. So we'll have a Spider-Man official podcast here soon, coming next year.
Incredibly Spider-Man edition.
Yeah, right. Change all the
Yeah.
branding and everything. Well, with that being said, do you have any other notes from your top list? What a
Nah.
year, dude.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, like, 2023 was a pretty solid year for our like realm of fandom, I guess you could
Yeah.
say. A lot of great projects, a lot of great films and television shows. And it's so crazy because like when I had to think of my list, I was like, oh shit, like Mario was in this year and Ninja Turtles was in this year. Like when you lay it all out, this year was like very like widespread in a way.
Yeah.
Like at one point, I felt like it was just a lot of stuff like back to back to back. Like we went from like Mario to then shortly thereafter, it was like Spider-Man and then it was Flash, even though, you know,
Yeah.
but like I said, and then after that it was like Maz and then Ninja Turtles and
Mhm.
and then like Loki came up eventually and then then Godzilla. So yeah, it was like a pretty like fulfilled year when it comes to
Yeah.
that stuff. And I'm pretty sure 2024 we're gonna be in good hands. Because even though Marvel Studios is only putting out one film, which honestly is Deadpool 3,
It's all it needs.
they all don't need nothing
Yeah.
else. And then Sony's got like 3 or 4 Spider-Man projects.
Yeah.
Then we got the X-Men animated show, Spider-Man's animated show. Like,
Oh, and the Eyes of Wakanda animated show as well
oh
this
my
year.
god,
Yeah.
yo, that's what I'm saying. So it's like we got plenty to look forward to. It's gonna be interesting to like in a year,
Reflect.
yeah, reflect back and
Yeah.
be like, all right, so what's our top 5 for 2024 now? And see if any of the things that we literally just mentioned. I'm pretty sure this is gonna be some crazy prediction right now, but I'm pretty sure my number one is gonna be Deadpool 3. My number
Yeah.
two is gonna be Venom 3.
Venom 3, yeah. Yes,
And
sir.
then my number two is probably gonna be the X-Men series.
Mm.
And then, like, 4 will probably be, like, Echo or Daredevil, whichever, like, is
I was
more
gonna
OD.
say, I think Echo's really gonna blow us away. Did you watch the
Yeah.
second trailer?
Nah, I haven't had time yet. No. Oh,
TVMA. That was what Dennis was blowing us up about in the group chat.
oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
gonna be wild. So I think we're in for a treat. I think it's gonna be
Yeah,
really, really good. It's gonna set
fact.
I think Echo will set the tone for how rated R Deadpool is gonna be. So I'm very, very excited.
Mm, I'm
But yeah,
hyped.
to echo everything you said, no pun intended. It's gonna be a good year. I felt like 2023 was like almost a setup year. We had like a lot of firsts, we had a lot of reboots, a lot of promises for the future of things to
Mm,
come, like setting up Maz and the season 2 for Maz and Superman Legacy, which I think is 2024, probably
5.
2025. Okay, well, it's still in the pipeline, right?
Yeah.
So there's a lot to look forward to. Really excited. I'm actually very excited to see Aquaman this weekend as well.
Yeah.
I the first one was really good. So, you know, here's hoping that they deliver on all cylinders with this one too. You
Yeah.
know, we'll actually with the plug, we'll be back again next week to talk about our review of Aquaman 2.
Yeah.
There will probably not be a live stream next week. However, you could catch us Wednesday evening this week on I think it's the 19th. Oh nope, it's the 20th. So
20th.
December 20th, you can check us out. Uchi and I will be back again once again with our what do we call it? Our top our strongest MCU heroes list. It's a bracket that
Oh,
we're running through.
yeah.
A
We're
lot more
almost at the
heroes than we thought.
finals.
Yeah, right. We got basically all the Eternals are still in.
Clearly,
Loki.
it's probably gonna be up to them, to be honest.
Yeah. Loki's still in.
Yeah.
And a few other sneaks I think are in there as well, just from how the bracket ended up working out. Rest in peace, Iron Man, and a few others.
You have
But
to
it's good
fight a
stuff.
fucking dragon.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. It wasn't his fault.
The
He,
seeds, man.
man can only do so much. So,
Right.
um, thanks for listening, everybody. If you want to listen to more, you can find us on our YouTube channel. You can find us on Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, X, Twitter. I think I said Twitter already. Or you can find us down in the links below in the link tree. You can find me over on twitter.com/house. Nope. Twitter.com/life my pace and over on Twitch at twitch.tv/house_top. I'm not on there as much as I should be, even though I got my PS5. I just got to get it set up for the stream. But Ooch, where can the people find you?
Plant the seeds to get them trees. Make sure you guys are hitting up the Linktree link in the description as always. All of my accounts and socials are going to be right there. So if you're trying to support, obviously hit me up on there. And don't forget right here on Incredibly.
Thank you, sir. And that is all the time that we have for today. So thank you all for joining us today. Have a good weekend and Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, whatever you celebrate. Happy holidays. And we'll catch you guys in the new year. So take it easy and bye.
See ya.